when somebody's advertising, their products are not set up well. Their architecture is wrong, which means that they are bidding for the same keywords that like we average a 15 to 25% reduction in cost per click for brands that we work with because we optimize their content. Why this is important: Walmart's advertising auction is different than, let's say, Amazon. Yes, it's a second price auction. So in theory, Matt, you bid $2 for a search term. Milk, I bid $1. You win, and you pay 1 penny over my bid. Walmart actually multiplies your bid by a relevancy score.
Well, good day, everyone. My name is Matt Pfeiffer. I'm so excited today to spend some time with my friend Jason Magee from SellCord in this joint webinar focused on using Walmart.com to drive in-store sales and how digital performance influences physical retail. What a fascinating topic to dig into. Jason, welcome. It's great to see you. If you would say a few words about yourself and about SellCord, and let's get this conversation started.
Yeah, of course. Well, again, thank you, Matt, for having me. My name is Jason Magee, and I'm Chief Revenue Officer at SellCord. A little about me personally. I've been in the e-com, Walmart, other marketplace, and digital side of things for probably about the last 13 or 14 years. Previously, in my current role at SellCord, I oversee sales, marketing, strategic partnerships, but a lot of experience with Walmart in particular. I previously headed up the strategic partnerships at Takeometrics, where we were an early adopter, actually the first API partner for Walmart Connect. So I've loved watching the evolution of Walmart digital and the shift to omni. We're going to talk a lot about that today, but short version, SellCord is an exclusive agency focusing on all things Walmart Inc. That's Walmart Marketplace, Walmart 1P, helping brands get in store by pushing in on the digital side. We manage over, I think, $6.5 billion of GMV across Walmart. And yeah, we are award-winning partner of Walmart Connect, and that's we're trying to keep the shameless plugs to a minimum here, but that's a little bit about us.
Research shows that for every dollar spent on Walmart retail media, $10 are spent offline. Is that matching what you're seeing? And if it's true, why aren't more brands treating their Walmart.com investment as an in-store growth strategy?
That's a great one, Matt. I think a lot of this this is just a snapshot in time, right? If you look at where brands that are, let's say, in store, it probably wasn't even that level of investment even a couple of years ago on Walmart. I'm seeing that shift a lot more, and I think that in general, a lot of brands have really understood the power of it, and those who haven't yet, every day I'm talking to folks who says, "Hey, look." Walmart, I'm talking to my buyers, my merchant teams, they're asking us to lean into increased digital penetration because Walmart really understands the power of being omnipresent. That's why Walmart, unlike other channels, just really has a crazy leg up when it comes to selling online and in store. And you also think about it, there's also different ways to even sell, right? We'll talk about the difference in 1P and 3P later, but if I just actually give you a quick example, I'm going to share my screen and just show a couple of slides. I'm not going to go to, actually I could go to presenter mode, but we see here, there are many different ways that that you can sell on Walmart. You have, for those who are in store, you can have online pickup, like pick up today. You can have delivery where you order it online and it's delivered directly to your house. There's also ship from store, where if customers are in a certain geographical region, they want a product shipped to them. That's why Walmart's able to unlock a lot of things like same day delivery or next day delivery. And then there's also ship to home, right? Those are folks who are literally just saying, look, I'm Walmart Plus subscriber. I can get it in 1 to 2 days, and I just want it shipped to me as well. So there's just a lot of different options in terms of how you can sell. The other one, Matt, I think the second part to your question is, if this is true, why aren't more brands in investing more on the digital side. Was that the question part?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times it you have to look at it as per brand or manufacturer, whoever's the supplier is. What is their relationship with Walmart? Walmart's been around obviously a long time. There's some brands that I talk to and they started in store, 20, 30 years ago. So there really hasn't, maybe they just haven't caught up to the impact of digital. There are some brands that are like, look, everything that we do starts with building online momentum, then going in store as well. So it really is all across all sorts of different ways to approach it. Last thing I'll say, and I know I'm talking a lot, and I'm not used to being the one talking this much, but there also could be some challenges. A lot of people don't understand how to track in-store sales and online sales. So it can be cumbersome, and we can obviously dive in a bit more into that. To do it.
I was going to mention those two things as well. I think there's the issue of attribution, like you said, not knowing precisely, what digital is doing in store. And then the other is just simply in-store execution and on-shelf availability being a big part of that, making sure that you're driving demand, to a store and an aisle where the product is actually available to the shopper. But let's move on. Do you have a concrete example of what it actually looks like when a brand's Walmart.com performance is driving measurable in-store lift, and what changed and what made the difference?
So another very good question. I think the first thing is Walmart has the data. Challenge is not everybody is leveraging, like everybody's familiar with Scintilla, which is used to be Walmart Illuminate. That's Walmart, obviously massive amounts of data coming that way. But Scintilla does allow you to very easily in a straightforward way measure what are my e-com only sales that were shipped to home, what were my online pickup and delivery, what was true in-store sales. So I think the first thing is you have to be able to understand what those sales like measure, right? If you don't have it, there are ways you can do it. There's actually something, if you have Scintilla Basic, which is the non-Scintilla Charter paid version, where you actually can see, if you look at the tender offer, when you download the report, you can see which ones were e-com sales or the method of payment, whether it was cash, card. Those are ways in which you can compare your ship to home e-com only sales with your in-store with your in-store sales, and you can actually start to directly understand what the impact is. So the number one thing you that is so tried and true is online pickup and delivery, right? How many, like, especially if you're investing in ads, pre-post analysis, when I am investing in ads on these products and using these tactics, what is the impact of my online pickup and delivery? That is purely incremental. You can see it A to B. Now, the other one, which is a little bit less, I guess, clear-cut incremental, is what is my investment measure pre-ad investment as an example, or like digital penetration, where I'm taking time to enrich my content. After you do that, where are the other sales spiking as well? Because you will start to see there are some missing components where, hey, look, I saw it online, then I physically walked and got it in store. So does that answer the first part of the question? Because I think so. Want to rant, I think there's actually another point I wanted to make here. One thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is the in-store experience and how they still leverage online. So what I mean by that, Walmart did a study a couple of years ago, and I know it's going to even be more now, but even to think about these metrics, it's staggering. I think it was in the consumer products, health and wellness category in store. 81% of in-store shoppers opened up the Walmart app or Walmart on their mobile browser, literally while they're in store. And when they did that, they didn't just do it once. The average shopper did that 2 to 4 times. So if you think about this, if I am in store and somebody comes across my product and they look it up online, well, why are they doing that? Well, one, They want to know what other people are saying about the product. They want to see what the reviews said. They wanted to see some imagery that maybe had some like how it's actually used, lifestyle imagery. They also want to know like, oh, well, I like this, but this other product that may or may not be in store, this I actually really, really like this product, and that actually can lead to products that are shipped to home that may or may not have even been in store in the first place. So that's something just critical to understand in terms of the in-store connection.
Yeah, very good. Next question, which digital performance signals tend to have the most influence on in-store outcomes? Is it discoverability, content quality, ratings, pricing, media visibility? What are your thoughts?
I think that we'll talk about content quality score, which is for vendors, essentially your scorecard of how those products are like optimized. You also have listing quality score if you're 3P. But I think that actually matters not as much as a lot of people think. I think one, discoverability is really, really important. We're going to talk a lot about that, I think, with after a few other questions. But I think if somebody can discover a product online and they actually are able to get a sense and make a buying decision whether they want to buy that product or not, based on the images, the reviews, like how does it make them feel? And then the other one is title is really, really key as well. I mean, Walmart gives you, and I know it changes, but up to 100 characters you use. The first half, up to maybe the first 75% of those characters, those are the ones that are indexed. Beyond that, they're truncated, especially on a mobile device. So I would say, lastly, is price. EDLP is a real thing. People expect value. So understanding the price, making sure the online price matches, obviously in store, what Walmart's done a phenomenal job of. But it's price, it's discoverability, and it's if you've done what you need to do from a content optimization perspective to actually drive that emotion.
When you talk about digital shelf excellence in Walmart's ecosystem, what does that actually mean? And how is it different from what brands may already be doing on Amazon or on their own direct-to-consumer site?
Oof, we could spend an hour on this topic alone, but I think one, and actually I have some visuals here that I want to show here. Give me 1 second as I pulled it up. So I think there's two main points here. I think that number one, Walmart is very, very different than other marketplaces that exist. I mean, fundamentally, discoverability and how the algorithm works is incredibly different than how it works on Amazon and others. And number two is advertising. So I think that Walmart, if you look at Walmart's algorithm, like first off, Walmart's content quality score matters a lot, right? In the sense of, hey, look, merchants, you have to have at least an 80% to be deemed relevant by Walmart, but really merchants want to push for 80 or 95, 98%, depending on the category. While content quality score is impactful, it does not guarantee visibility. You now have the right to become visible. Now, whether you are visible or not really comes down to how Walmart's algorithm actually works. And again, this is very different than other channels. So really, if you think about the building blocks here, before we even talk about content and images, there's a lot that happens under the hood. It's called pre-content, your taxonomy, your category path. So actually, let's talk about that for a second. If you think about your what a product type or category path is, let's actually understand it. So a product type, when you have a product online, the product type is your designation, and I'll make this bigger now. Your designation to Walmart, hey, this is my type of product that I'm selling. Now, if you want to rank for search terms that are, they have to be related. They have to be in the product type bucket. So think about product type. It's a bucket of search terms. If you want to rank for those search terms, you have to be in that product type in order to even be able to rank for those search terms organically. So this is why it matters so much. So let me give you an example. Let's say that this is a product. This is a food processor, an electric food chopper, whatever. We'll get to that. Here are the keywords: food processor, vegetable chopper, food chopper, and chopper. Up here are different product types. So you have to tell Walmart, hey, look, do I want to declare myself as a food processor, a food chopper, or an electric food chopper? Well, this is where it's not always black and white. So if I want to rank for the search term food processor is the right product type for me. But even though I technically am a vegetable chopper, like you chop vegetables with a food processor, you can't really rank well for that search term because that's vegetable chopper is not a part of the product type food processor.
Yeah.
So you have to make a decision what you want to do. I know I'm speaking a lot, but any questions about that, or Matt, did that make sense from you from your side of the table?
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. And so the other thing then is category path. So you have a product type, and then a category path is the digital shelf. You can have up to 2 digital shelves, and you typically have a primary and then a secondary. But like if you're a food processor, if your product type is food processors is their ideal category path for you. If you're a vegetable chopper, it's chopping and slicing. So there's all these decisions that need to be made. So you have to figure out, like, hey, am I even on the right product type or the right category path? Matt, do you think it'll be helpful if I showed people how they can even find what their category path or product type is?
Yeah, sure.
All right. And not only for you all, you can see this for competitors. Obviously, you can go into Seller Center or retail and you can see this. But if I'm just going to, I was looking at some products. I just bought this for my one of my kiddos. Learning Resources, great brand. They have these magnetic toys. So they have their STEM explorers. If you want to see the category path, you scroll to the very, very bottom. You can see the category path is magnetic toys. Now, if you want to see the product type, and this isn't your product, you have to right click, go to page source. And then when you go to Control F, you can see it's set up as magnetic toys. Is that ideal? Well, here's an example. This is our proprietary data set that we get data from Walmart. We enrich it as well. If I wanted to rank for the search term STEM toys, like you have to decide, do I want to be known as a STEM toy? Because if I'm learning resources, in case STEM is literally in the title, or do I want to be known as a magnetic toy? As you can see here, it's set up to be under all magnet toys. If I look at the search term STEM toys, the keyword rank, think about this, the rank number 1, the lower the better. Rank number 1 is this term milk. I mean, it's the most widely searched term on Walmart. Rank 28,000, that's still pretty darn good. That means that's in the top. Think about there on average are 600,000 search terms. If you're 28th, you're in the top 0.5% of search terms there. So what does this mean? If I want to rank for STEM toys, I should have my category path be here and here, and here's how much search volume it gets. And then I have to cross my product type needs to be construction set toys. Now, right now, they're under magnetic toys. They're all under all magnetic toys. That keyword is not nearly as big or valuable as STEM toys. So if you want more traffic, you have to set yourself up as a STEM toy for those search terms. That means you have a different product type, a different category path, but they've made a decision. So it's not, say, cut or dry. Like they made a decision to be under the all magnetic toys. Whether that's purposeful or correct, you work with us, you can find out our thoughts or opinions. I'm just giving some examples of how that works. Yeah. So another, but go ahead.
We got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm gonna push. So content, attributes, ratings, and promotions are often managed as separate work streams inside a brand. Why does that fragmented approach hurt performance on Walmart, and what does a more integrated approach look like?
Well, what I just said and showed actually illustrates that very well. Like if you want to rank organically, you need to make sure your product type in your category path are correct. Then you have to make sure that your listings, your bullets, the title, product description, key features, all that needs to be set up properly with the intent to rank organically. Now, let's say you now have things ranking organically. Now I need to lay on ads. Well, your ad strategy needs to tie into to your content and copy. They have to ad strategy and how you bid on search terms need to map the same search terms that are building your listing. So they literally have to be done together. So if the content team is not talking to the ad team, which I see happen far too often with brands, like there's no way to get that correct unless you're just very, very, very lucky.
Exciting question. Walmart is investing heavily in AI-driven personalization and discovery, and acquiring Vizio gives them a media reach most suppliers haven't fully processed yet. How should brands be thinking about that shift, and what does it mean for how they show up on the digital shelf?
It's a great question. I got another visual. This one will not take nearly as long, but I promise this is important. Confirm when you can see my screen.
We can.
All right. So a couple of things to know. As of October 2025, and again, I need to update this. I know it's even higher, but even back in October, 37% of all Walmart traffic, affiliate third-party traffic, came from ChatGPT. You saw last month in January, Walmart announced they joined the Google's Universal Commerce Protocol, which is essentially a way in which Walmart, other retailers, Macy's, Best Buy, they push data through to LLMs. Now, when you think about Walmart, there's three things to consider. You have to think about the search bar. And when you go to Walmart, you start typing in things of a product that you're trying to buy. Walmart uses AI to complete the search for you. So you have to optimize for that. You then have to optimize for Sparky, which is all about personalization, which is their Walmart's AI bot shopper. Then you also have how you make your products discoverable for LLMs. In a nutshell, the short version is Walmart with OmniSpec 5 and how they set up product types, keywords, how you fill in the back end attributes is critical. Now, everybody's going to sit there and say, oh, this is the ideal thing to do. Like, it's still too early. But number one thing is you have to provide the structured data Walmart requests properly. That way, when Walmart passes it to their Sparky or an outside LLM like ChatGPT, it's actually it's the information that's requested based on how it was built.
Next question. SellCord is a Walmart Connect Premium partner. Congratulations. And unifies advertising across search, DSS, DSP, SEM, and influencer. Most brands manage those channels in silos. What does that cost them? And what does it look like when it's working as a unified system?
The path to purchase is super complex. So a lot of people have seen and talk about the different advertising types you can use, like an inverted triangle. You have like awareness at the top, which is, oh, this is just to have people know about my brand. Then consideration, hey, have you thought about our brand? And then conversion, which is like, hey, they're searching for a product, show up. It is so much more complex to that. So one thing I would look at is what is the influence, like the path to purchase from what ads were clicked on, how many ads were running, because there's just, think about how we shop, right? I can go online and be like, I want this product shipped to home. I want to pick it up in store. I can be literally on my phone watching TV, and all of a sudden I see an ad that shows up on my phone, and all of a sudden I want to buy it. I can be traveling and I think, oh, I'm on the go. I need to remember to buy this product. There is literally in-store, like physical retail displays that are impacting me. So one, you have to understand what is the purpose of using a specific ad type. And then what is the best way to measure that ad type? Measuring like brand awareness, like using on-site or off-site display and only looking at ROAS is not. You want to look at unique reach, detailed paid views versus bottom of the funnel, where you look at return on ad spend, ad share of sales, things like that. So you have to work as one team, because the left hand needs to know what the right hand is doing.
I love this next question, not just because I wrote it, but I think it really gets to to the point of all this. Where do you most often see media dollars wasted or misallocated on Walmart? And is there a point where adding more spend stops being the right answer?
Great question. I think that a lot of people are in ROAS jail, where like it's a metric that everybody understands as, hey, what's my dollars in return on
Mm,
ads? But I see if you have a good ROAS, the first thing you should do is what percentage of my revenue comes from investing in my own branded terms. So a lot of times people are like, oh, my ROAS is phenomenal. But really, when you look under the hood, it's a lot of the terms are Jason Magee's brand
mm,
driving the revenue. Would you at, but you, at that point, you're probably triple paying for a customer. Maybe you pay for
mhm,
them. It's not the first, like they're looking up your brand name. So they already know they're looking to buy your brand. They may have clicked on an ad outside of Walmart or even a previous Walmart ad. I think that's one. I think the other one is every day we see that the when somebody's advertising their products are not set up well, their architecture is wrong, which means that they are bidding for the same keywords that like we average a 15 to 25% reduction in cost per click
mm,
for brands that we work with because we optimize their content. Why this is important. Walmart's advertising auction is different than, let's say, Amazon. Yes, it's a second price auction. So in theory, Matt, you bid $2 for a search term, milk, I bid $1, you win, and you pay 1 penny over my bid. Walmart actually multiplies your bid by a relevancy score.
mm.
So if my product is more relevant, my keywords are set up, or my listings optimized and set up correctly, all of those things can actually make my adjusted bid more powerful and actually cheaper because it's just a more relevant product.
Yep.
So I think that's a big issue where people are misspending. And then match types. So too many people are only using like auto campaigns are the most basic thing. You just don't have control.
A lot of brands enter the Walmart supplier relationship without fully understanding what they're signing up for, the power dynamic, the complex requirements, operational expectations. What do brands most often misunderstand about being in business with Walmart, and how does that misunderstanding show up later?
Well, one is why do they want to have a 1P relationship with Walmart?
Hmm.
I think obviously it's very, very positive to do that. But and then what is your goal? Do you want to be physically in store? My if so, my product packages and how I ship in a box to home is different than an in-store mod or a display. Like, do you have the ability to create in-store branded packages in the pick me style that's different than how products are shipped to home? Can you fulfill a large purchase order that Walmart gives you? Can you ship products OTIF, so on time in full? Can you meet Walmart's basic requirements? That's the first thing you really got to understand is what are you signing up for? Um, and then if you, I think it's really important that you understand your goals. You be very intentional with your goals to Walmart too, and that way there's no surprises. And I think the last thing is if let's say you're the Walmart's invested, like obviously it's a big like check mark for Walmart to even want to have a vendor relationship with you. Like, so kudos on that. But if Walmart asks you or it says, hey, let's do this together, there's three things you can do. You can say yes and do it. Next best is say, hey, look, no, but here's why. The worst thing you can do is say, yeah, let's do it. And then don't meet your obligations.
Mhm.
So it's a business relationship and it's a big one. And a lot of positive things come from it, but you got to do your job in order to meet the requirements as well.
Yeah. Your team uses the term Walmart growth architecture in describing how brands structure their business across 1P, 3P, hybrid, and in-store. Why do those early structural decisions matter so much? And what makes them so hard to reverse once growth begins?
I think one, it's not nearly as hard to adjust it like it used to be. I think that what's the difference between a 1P vendor and a 3P seller, right? 1P vendor, your Walmart is your customer and you're sending orders in bulk at a great price for Walmart, but you're able to have a lot of like sales and margin there because it's less complex.
Yeah.
But you can be a 3P seller and use Walmart fulfillment, but you have to get products to Walmart, their warehouses, and you don't need necessarily to send as many as you do for like a PO. But the other thing is you have to manage the customer relationship. You have to the buyer relationship. When I mean like a consumer, if you are a third party seller versus Walmart's typically handling that if you're a vendor. So the other thing too is like I think this is, I'm going to show one more visual here, and I know we're going to go move to some questions, but I think this is an important concept here as well. Sorry, I just set it up. I have all these slides, but here's like sometimes you don't have the ability to become a 1P vendor directly, right? Sometimes you are a vendor and they're telling you need to back up what you're doing on digital. So when you look at it, let's say you are in store. One thing you're asked by the merchant or your internal company wants to increase your digital penetration. What you have to do is you have to first understand how are you showing up online? What are my competitors doing? What is my share of voice, organic, and paid? And you can understand what the gaps are in terms of what products are eligible online only versus only in store. Then what you want to do is you want to back those core 1P items with a very, very strong online content. And Walmart only has so much physical retail space. So you want to say, look, if I have 10 products in store, how do I expand my assortment on 1P online? A really good thing that people don't think about too often is using not only just 1P online, but 3P. You get to choose which products you set up on Marketplace. Whereas you have to be invited to sell those products on Walmart, a 1P relationship. Use digital penetration and those successes to graduate those winners in store. So what you want to look at is you want to see, am I actually increasing my showing digital penetration? Am I getting category share? Am I getting sell through? And you can actually graduate those winners by showing that body of work to your merchants and buyer teams. Say, hey, look how good this is doing online or on Marketplace. Imagine if we got this in store. So you could feed programs that way as well.
How does the wrong pathway choice eventually show up in the financials? Margin compression, loss of pricing control, suppressed velocity. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll be really quick on this. I mean, like there's different complexities, right? Margins can be better going 1P for some, margins can be worse for others. So you have to look at the unit economics by each model. The other thing is like pricing, like how are you selling in other channels, right? If you're a marketplace on another channel, but then you want to be 1P on Walmart, there's dynamic shift. We can come back to specifics, but high level, you just got to understand your margins and how you're showing up in other channels, and if that carries your story true throughout for what your goals are.
Yeah, very good. Talk a little bit about the most common mistakes brands make in the months after launch that quietly slow momentum or erode margin before anyone even notices.
I think one big one is they back off advertising very quickly after launch, but they don't realize that if you get ads optimized and rank it and set up well, it can actually have a profound positive impact on your organic rank as well. And oftentimes they will make decisions like, oh, I'm just going to stop after 3 months. It shouldn't be time bound. It should be, hey, are these leading indicators telling me that I no longer have to invest as much in ads? It's probably the number one thing.
Jason, how do you diagnose whether a Walmart performance problem is a strategy problem, an execution problem, a resourcing problem, and how does the answer change what you do next?
I think it's a good one. I mean, this is a very broad question, but I think let's say that you have to identify what is the problem. Like, what's the symptom, right? Like, I'm not selling enough. But then it's like a decision tree. Well, am I getting enough traffic? Yes, I'm getting enough traffic. Well, where is that traffic coming from? Am I bidding on the wrong search terms? Or am I getting a lot of impressions, but I'm not getting clicks? So I'm getting a lot of clicks, but they're not leading to sales. So every decision, every data factor allows you to investigate why that's happening. So if you're getting a lot of impressions and clicks, but not converting, that means maybe your product isn't, your reviews are bad, or the content doesn't actually match what product you're physically selling. So it really becomes a decision tree. Again, that's something, if you all want to know more about what our checklist is, reach out to me. I'm happy to provide it.
Yeah, very good. Jason, if a supplier brand watching this conversation feels like their Walmart business is underperforming, what is the single most important thing they should examine first?
Ads performance. Two things: look at your ads performance and have your team or an external team analyze and audit how your ads are performing. The other one is content and data architecture. A lot of problems are because products aren't set up correctly. Those are the two main things that that are most important, that I think a lot of people don't get right.
Yeah, very good. What is SellCord seeing right now that the broader market hasn't caught up to yet? Where are brands systematically under investing, or what's working that most suppliers are still sleeping on?
I think leaning in digital in general. I know, like, the brands who are investing in the omni, the full omni experience, they're winning left and right. And yes, there are times where it's hard to know, is this placement online helping me in store? But like, if you look at their comps, like they're you can just see lift across the board because of the halo effect.
Last question I have is about SellCord. For anyone who's watching that's interested in learning more, talk a little bit about your sweet spot. What are the kinds of brands that you do your best work with, and what's the best way for those teams to engage with you and the folks at SellCord?
It's a great one. I know it's important to have it very dialed in, but like, look, since we are only focused on Walmart Inc. and we're not focused on these other channels, we're able to go deeper and wider within Walmart. So we have teams that specializing in setting up marketplace businesses and scaling 3P. We have a lot of businesses that are 1P in store, and they just need their 1P digital side of their business like just leveled up. And then we have folks who are omni. So I think really is, if you have good product market fit and you clearly like, I would say, I mean, classic reselling is a really tough business, right? If you own your brand and you understand that you have advertising and investing in the fundamentals are important, there is a solution that we have for you in terms of how we provide management and advertising excellence.
So Jason Magee, Chief Revenue Officer for SellCord, thank you so much for joining me for this conversation. I've learned a lot. Hopefully everyone else has as well.
Matt, thank you so much. I think what you're doing
has been fun.
Is amazing. And thank you for letting us play a small role in it.
I'd love to be a part. Thanks. Have a great day, great week, everybody. See ya.
That's right. Thanks.
Bye.